Hey guys, Toby Morrison here from CFS Health. Welcome to today's video on fibromyalgia. And what I want to do today is actually talk about not ways to improve your fibromyalgia, but I want to talk about fibromyalgia in the sense of how it actually affects you and some of the main problems that come with someone who suffers from fibromyalgia. And it's a very isolating illness, and it's a very invisible problem that a lot of people suffer from. Like, we're talking millions across the world. And people are just being prescribed pain medication, people are just told they're making it up, people are just told it's all in their heads. And none of that information is useful. Now, of course, medication can be useful, but again, this is not why I'm doing this video. I want to talk to you about the real problems that people with fibromyalgia go through, just so you know, if you're at home and you're struggling with this, that you're not the only one. And I actually did a post on my Facebook page the other day, and I asked who here suffers from fibromyalgia. If so, like this post and comment below the hardest part you are going through right now. And we got like hundreds and hundreds of comments. The first comment was from Katrina. Katrina said, self-expectation and the associated frustration. However, there are so many other facets that I could write an essay about. She says, actually, grieving who I once was is the hardest part. Rachel says, my partner does this from time to time. The hardest part is watching it eat slowly away, at my body and just my life in general. The all-consuming fatigue, Linda says. Elaine says, pain in my hands, emotions, everything is so much more intense. Guilt. The pain and telling people telling me it's psychological. Not being able to be the best mum for my kids I can be. That would be, I can imagine how hard that is for so many women. Pain and fatigue. Need to do things, but I can't. Fatigue, pain and frustration, loss of old self. It's pretty tough, and a lot of people are saying guilt, a lot of people are saying fatigue, and and the other thing is, not having enough decent sleep. No one really understands because I look okay. And so I'm not going to read them all out. There's literally hundreds. If you want to go over, you can go over to Toby Morrison Health and Lifestyle on my Facebook page. But I've written 7 main things that are really the main things about fibromyalgia that are all consuming. And so here they are. The first one is pain, but I've written invisible pain, because a lot of people look fine on the outside but are in excruciating pain on the inside. Now this can be widespread pain. This is not like a pain where you roll your ankle and you feel a bit of pain. This is pain where it's like, it feels constant. It just feels like it's constantly there in your body. And it's something that can go away, and it's something you can improve on. And I will do a video on that shortly. However, I just want to do this video on exactly what might be going on for you. Second one is fatigue. Not only will you be in pain, or you could be in pain, you're most likely going to experience fatigue, probably because you're dealing with the pain so much. You're constantly worrying about it, you're constantly feeling it, it's exhausting you, and you're trying to go about your day on top of the job of managing your pain. I'm sure you're nodding your head at home going, yeah, that makes sense. Guilt. This is a tough one, because this is going to be so common, and I'm sure if you're watching this video, like this video so I know that it's true, is that you probably feel guilty because you can't do what you once were able to do, or you feel guilty that you can't do what you think you should do. So there's a level of expectation there for yourself. Does that make sense? And so whenever you don't get to your level of expectation, you feel a sense of guilt or sadness within yourself. Something that I can totally understand and relate with, and like I said, I'll do another video to help you with all these things that you might be struggling with on this board. But I just want to acknowledge what you might be going through. Brain fog. Now this is again another common one, and it's where you've got a foggy brain, where you might be having a conversation, and the whole time in the conversation you might just be going, what is this person even talking about? Who is it? What? How did I even get into this conversation? Or what's the person's name? You might forget things in the past. Your memory might be not as good. Your cognitive concentration might be good. You might find it hard to read. a couple of sentences from a book, whereas normally back in the day you would have been able to read a whole chapter. That is brain fog. Again, it can be scary and it can be really exhausting. Just know that it can get better too. I've got 5 and 6 is worry and frustration. The worry is where you're constantly worrying about whether or not you're going to be able to do things, constantly worrying about the pain, how bad it will be in the morning, or how bad it will be at night, or how bad it will be going to an event or doing something. And so it's like pre-worry anxiety, and anxiety is really thinking about the future and thinking about it going wrong or bad. And so with obviously the invisible pain and all the other things that come with it, fatigue and brain fog, pre-worry anxiety is probably a very normal response to what you're going through. And again, as you get better, so will that get better too. Frustration, I'm sure you're all experiencing or have experienced that in the past, where you're frustrated with your situation, where you can't move forwards, where you feel like you're stuck, and then you beat yourself up about it. Obviously that's not the way to go about it, but that is something that you will probably be experiencing if you've got fibromyalgia. Now what I wrote here, and it's going to be 6, but I've written 7 because this is probably one of the most important ones. Lack of understanding. Whether it's from your family, whether it's from your friends, whether it's from doctors, medical staff, believe it or not. I've had so many people who have joined our program over the years who have been laughed at, who've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on medication that hasn't worked or helped them or given them worse side effects. And just given the wrong information and given up on almost. And it's that lack of understanding that really hurts people the most. And that's what everyone said in the comments there on my question, was that they don't feel understood. And it's not like a broken arm. Most of these people, if fibromyalgia was a broken bone, then they'd had a cast all over their entire body. And then that would be really visible. They'd be walking around with a cast the whole time, and then they would be able to tell that, it's a real thing. This is not just a walk in the park. This is one of the hardest things people are going through and suffering on their own. And it's that lack of understanding that people that really hits a hard part in their being. It really hurts emotionally when you're not understood. And so that's why I wanted to do this video. I think that's we can end on that note. Is that it's really important that you aren't alone. You do realize that there are other people going through a similar experience, and you can also improve from this. There's lots of evidence and research and people out there in the world who are recovering from fibromyalgia and have recovered, and I've seen it through my program for years. People with huge amounts of pain. We had one lady who was on 30 medication tablets per day and then went down to 0 within a year of starting our program and getting healthier and stronger. And again, I'll do a video on how we can help you with that, but this is what I want to talk about today. It's tough. If you're going through this right now, know that you're not alone. Comment in this video and talk to other people who are going through it. You guys will be able to relate to each other. There'll be a lot more engagement, and you'll be able to make some friends on this channel who are going through something similar, and sometimes that can be really useful and helpful, especially with something like fibromyalgia that does seem so foreign and seem so isolating for a lot of people. So I hope this video helps. My name is Toby Morrison. If you need more information or you want more help, head over to cfshealth.com. I'll leave a link in the comment section and get chatting. Meet some more people. This will be a really helpful thread for a lot of people who are suffering from fibromyalgia. And I'm with you. I know how hard it is. So hang in there. Focus on the small things that you can do. Focus on the moments of joy that you do have, where you do feel good and normal and feel healthy. And focus on those moments, and they will expand over time. Speak to you soon. Take care.